Processor speed limited at 0.4 GHz. I have an 8th generation Core and NBSP i5 processor, and it always worked great until these last 2 days where it doesn't go over 0.4 GHz. I've updated the chipset drivers, removed Intel thermal management, installed it again, ran Intel CPU testing, everything passed, ran stress tests with other tools, tried throttle stop, changed advanced power options, created my own profiles, checked the battery, it's working as usual, and tried it plugged in. I'm kind of desperate for options at this point. Even the fans are not spinning while the CPU temperature doesn't go over 60 degrees Celsius even on stress tests. Any suggestions? Screenshot from Open Hardware Monitor.
From everyone's feedback, I questioned my hardware, and my fan more specifically, and that was indeed the problem. What I've done was pretty simple. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Hardware manipulation. I've opened the laptop, unplugged the fan, turned it on for some seconds, turned it off, plugged the fan again, and it was spinning. I've also moved manually the fan before that when it was still turned off, just in case it was stuck for some reason. Don't know what did the trick, but it worked. And yes, the motherboard was detecting the fan issue and throttling the CPU, as now it's working perfectly even without the fan spinning on low load work. Thanks for all the suggestions, as this issue has risen after I've played with the power options CPU limitations. I thought it might have been a software thing, and maybe that played a role, who knows. Bottom line, this worked for me, hope it works for others as well.
I suggest you check your CPU fan. Maybe it died and the chipset is smart enough to detect it and throttle down the CPU, but not smart enough to tell you what the problem is.
If you have recently changed power adapter, it might not be providing enough power for the CPU to ramp up, which could cause the throttling you're experiencing. That was at least the case for me last time I experienced these symptoms.
I experienced this a few months ago on an older Dell laptop. Tried a new power adapter, updated BIOS, drivers, Windows, etc. Try taking out the battery and boot it with just the power adapter. This is assuming it is a laptop since it's a U-series CPU. A bad battery will also cause the ridiculous throttling. The battery can be bad even if the machine doesn't report it as such.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.